It's a very good afternoon, and it's Friday yet again. Welcome to Careers and Prospects. My name is Tonderai. I'm your host here on Transformed Life Radio. So last week we spoke about creating and delivering value as your focus when we are talking about developing yourself for your area of purpose, which we're calling your career. Now, I think one of the things that is also important for you to think about is how you prepare for your career, how you prepare. So you realize that generally speaking, there's a tendency to assume that you prepare just by going to college. You know, when you graduate, you have your degree, then you are prepared. But there are other factors that are very important to contribute towards your preparation. Such factors are like exposure. What are you exposed to? Because you could be an engineer, but what type of an engineer, what's your quality as an engineer? And that is determined by your exposure to how other people who are doing the same thing elsewhere are doing it. Another thing is also to look at just what you read and feed yourself with. You know, we are living in times where there's a tendency to be preoccupied with social media, maybe just watching some short videos or reels that are put up by other people. But I believe as you prepare for your career, it is very important to be very intentional concerning what you feed yourself with, what you watch, what you listen to, because what you actually take in through watching or hearing, eventually it forms in your mind, something that becomes prevalent, and you find that your mind constantly thinks in that particular way. So it is very, very important that you're careful what you feed yourself with, because what you feed yourself with is coming to create some mental energy which conditions your psyche or the state of your mind, and eventually that is what you begin to think of over and over again. And as you do so, remember, thinking is in pictures. So as you are thinking, you are actually creating images of those things that you are thinking. And as you think over and over the same things, you are emboldening that image. So it actually becomes a stronger kind of an image on your mind, subsequently forms a conviction. And when a conviction has been formed, at that point in time, you cannot be dissuaded. You cannot change your mind. It's likely, definitely what you're going to do. And if it is a negative conviction, it is actually going to make it so difficult for you to change your mind or to do certain things differently. By differently, I mean doing them better. So one of the key areas that you need to look at as you prepare is exposure. Give yourself good exposure to good versions of what you see yourself doing, what you see yourself becoming in the future. And you can do this through reading, intentionally reading, finding out about how other people elsewhere are doing what they're doing, so that your world is not just a small world around the community where you live or where you grew up. So you can change maybe the negative impact of your background by looking at positive prospects that you can always explore through what I'm talking about. Exposure. Get exposed. You don't need to necessarily travel far. In the day of technology, you can get it right on your gadget. You can see how things are happening elsewhere, and it can enhance your brilliance and your sharpness, and it can extend your horizon and help you prepare for what you are going to do or to become as you pursue to position yourself on a professional pedestal according to what you think is what you should do or become. Until we meet again next week here on Transformed Life Radio, my name is Tonderai. I'm looking forward to next week's edition as we talk about careers and prospects.